Well, good morning, and what a fantastic venue this is. What an amazing theatre. It is truly wonderful for me to be here in Madrid, and to be part of this really important day for us in Clear Channel and for all advertisers to be able to see the opportunity that we are opening up today. I wanted to do two things, really, in the next few minutes. I want to talk a bit about outdoor as a medium and why we at Clear Channel are so excited about outdoor as a medium. And I wanted to talk a bit about Clear Channel itself and what we are doing and the changes that we're making to this medium. So I've called this presentation Building the Future of Media at the Heart of Cities, because it's really an extraordinary change that is happening in the world at the moment. And you see it right here in the city of Madrid. The changes that are happening, the transformation that is going on as cities become the centre of our lives, as more and more people around the world are migrating to cities, and the cities respond to that by becoming environments which are truly part of the 21st century. And our medium, outdoor, is absolutely at the heart of that transformation of cities. And that's really what I want to talk about today. We talk about this as a fabulous medium. And truly that is not overstating the case. Outdoor is going through a change, a transformation if you like, because it is answering three fundamental questions that anyone in the world of media asks when they're thinking about how does a medium work? What makes a medium truly effective? And to me, as I say, there are three things which any advertiser asks of a medium. They want to reach the right audience, clearly. They want to connect with that audience when that audience is in a mood to be receptive. We all know that if you're talking to somebody, you want to talk to that person when they're listening. It's something my children often forget. They'll talk to me when I'm trying to do something else, when I can't give them my attention because I'm actually focused on something else. And it's exactly the same with advertising. You want to try to reach people when they are going to be receptive to your message, not when they would rather be doing something else. And finally, any advertiser wants to ensure that they can deliver a really powerful message. Well, the thing about outdoor is that it connects with consumers when they are truly receptive. When they're stuck in traffic, or when they're waiting for a bus, or a train, or a tram, or when they're out shopping. We reach consumers when they are really wanting to be distracted from something else, when they want to be entertained, when they want to be informed. And if you think about other media, that generally isn't the case. How does television advertising work? Television advertising works by interrupting you when actually you'd rather be watching the program. How does print advertising work? Well, it works by interrupting you when you're reading an article. It comes in between when you're reading an article or a news item. How does internet advertising work? Well, frankly, it doesn't work, but when it tries to work, what it does is it interrupts you when you're trying to read a website. It comes up and you have to click to make it go away. Does that make you receptive to the message, or does it just make you irritated? The thing about our medium is you, generally speaking, you quite want to be interrupted because you're waiting for a bus or you're stuck in traffic, and the messages, therefore, are much more powerful. The other thing that I think is truly important about outdoor as a medium is that it's a very public medium. And that has an impact on consumers, which is really profound, really important. And what is that impact? Well, it's what we call the power of the public promise. And what we mean by that is that when a brand advertises in outdoor, it's showing confidence, it's showing pride, and it is saying to people, you can trust us because it's not just you who's seeing this message, it's thousands, millions of other people are also seeing this message, and they will hold this brand accountable. They will make sure this brand delivers. So why do I show you this picture of my son's wedding? Because when people get married, they don't do it in private. They don't do it in front of one or two people. They do it like here, in front of 120 of their friends and family, because those people will hold them accountable for their marriage vows. And I think outdoor advertising operates on a very similar dynamic. As I say, it's that power of the public promise. Now, I talked earlier about the rise of cities and the importance of cities in our world. And let me just build on that point. And I'm not expecting you to read all of the detail here, but this is just one example of many, many articles and facts that you'll read about cities. Cities are truly changing the world. They are absolutely at the heart of the global economy. There are now 600 cities around the world which count for 20% of the global population and 60% of global GDP, just in those top 600 cities, and Madrid is, of course, one of those cities. More than half the world's population now live in major cities. And that massive scale brings significant new opportunities. There are 23 megacities, cities of over 10 million inhabitants around the world. And we at Clear Channel have presence in more than 10 of them, including 4 of the top 5. And we're going to see exceptional growth in those cities, increasing migration from rural areas to urban over the next 10 years. And we'll see 16 more megacities, that is the prediction, over the next 10 years. And we're looking at how we develop our business in those. And I can tell you one thing, China is going to be absolutely key to that. In China, there are 220 cities that are bigger than the city of Valencia, just in that one country, China. There are cities in China that are bigger than many countries in Europe. So cities are going to be very important. The other thing that is truly important about outdoor as a medium is that you can't miss it. One of the increasing challenges that all media face is ad avoidance. Consumers across the world are bombarded with commercial messages. If you think about the change that's happened in the last 20 years, and think about how many different messages we all receive from brands, from services, from advertisers every day, we're all trying to find ways to avoid it. And one of the important things, I think, for our medium is that you can't fast forward a billboard. If you think about television, increasingly people are watching television on time shift and they skip over the ads. They find ways of missing the ads. If you think about the way the internet is working, more and more people are using ad blockers to avoid it. And as we say, you can't ad block a bus shelter. And I do think it's really important that we take note of what is happening to online. And I ask this question: have we reached the peak of online advertising? For the last 10 years, marketing directors, CMOs across the world have been telling their boards that they need to increase their investment in online advertising. They don't quite know why necessarily, it's just been a hugely fashionable thing to do. But people increasingly are avoiding online advertising or finding it irritating. And I really think this quote from Mark Pritchard, who's the global CMO of Procter & Gamble, is a very telling one. We've targeted too much, and we went too narrow, he said, when talking about reducing their budgets on Facebook and Google. That tight targeting is very seductive, but actually what you're doing is you're missing the opportunities that a mass reach medium gives you to build those emotional connections that create a brand. So, enough of knocking the competition, let me just talk a little bit about why we think that outdoor delivers such powerful messages. And this is just one example of the powerful creative. This was from Brussels. This won a major prize, a Bronze Lion, in Cannes at the Ad Festival. And it took the new Audi A4 and used the physical headlights of that car on a giant billboard to really create a dramatic and powerful and unmissable image right in the centre of Brussels. Look at this, just great, simple, powerful creative for Converse All-Star shoes. Just unmissable creative with stunning, simple, graphic images. Or this in London, one of the great campaigns of the last few years, I think, is the Apple Global Images campaign. Crowdsourced images taken on iPhone, using the power of outdoor to just show in a very simple way what that phone can do. And I love the fact that one of the coolest tech brands of them all is using such a great traditional medium such as outdoor. And this is on our signs in London on the main road as you come in from London's airport. And those signs we've just converted to digital screens, and I think you'll agree they give a very, very powerful, unmissable, as I say, message. Or this one here, showing how we can build brands, this one from one of our great sites in Zurich Airport. But the thing about outdoor as well is it isn't a medium that only does one thing. It's actually truly a multi-purpose medium. You can build brands, as we show here, as I've shown in the other examples, but you can also use it to drive footfall. You can also use it as a proximity medium. Here, a lovely campaign for McDonald's showing how close you are and getting closer to a McDonald's restaurant. It's also a medium which is absolutely at what Proctor called the last moment of truth. It's that medium that is there just before you make that shopping decision. So the ability that we have to be the last piece of brand communication prior to the brand choice, I think is, again, a great opportunity for us. So all of those are, in a sense, inherent benefits, core benefits, if you like, of the out-of-home medium. But the medium is changing. And the medium is changing very fast, and we're here today to talk about that change that we are seeing in the medium. The medium is becoming a digital medium. In the UK now, more than half of our revenue comes from digital screens. 5 years ago, that figure was less than 3%. That's a phenomenal change. Phenomenal change. And what the advertising agencies and what advertisers are saying about that is that it truly gives a different role for outdoor. It creates opportunities for innovation, for creativity, and for flexibility that we've never seen before. You can buy a different day part, you can use dynamic copy, you can respond to events. It also has a very powerful, high-quality image. And that's why, if you look at the numbers and if you look at the forecasts, digital outdoor is forecast to grow really dramatically across the world. And you can see, just in some examples that I have here, you can see why that is the case. This is an example from the UK, just again on a giant screen there, showing the power, the dramatic imagery that you can create on digital outdoor. This here in a shopping mall in Paris, La Défense, which is the biggest shopping mall in France. fantastically powerful imagery. If you mention out-of-home or outdoor advertising to people, I don't think what they have in their mind is an image like this, but I think an image like this shows why outdoor is now attracting advertisers who might never have considered it before as a medium. And I talked earlier about the way in which you can use outdoor now to give real-time messages. This is from the city of Brussels during the tragic incident at the airport earlier this year, when we were able to put up signs informing people of what was happening, of the lockdown in the city, and give them real-time traffic information. And that's what I mean when I talk about us being part of the smart city revolution. Our ability to give real-time information to citizens is part of our proposition, part of our value proposition to municipalities across the world now. And we think that's really important. Outdoor is also able to use data to make our messages even more relevant. This one using real-time to show what a watch can actually do, which is give you the time. Historically, all watch advertising has just shown the hands permanently stuck at 10 minutes to 2. What we can do is show real time. We can do location-based advertising, this from the UK, where each site is location-specific. Each site has a specific reference to the local bank and the local branch. Or here, real-time weather information from Singapore, showing, again, what's happening right now in the city. That makes the advertising much more relevant. It makes consumers much more engaged in the advertising that they're seeing. It gives advertisers significantly better value for every dollar, euro, or pound that they spend. And digital also gives us the opportunity to be truly interactive. We can have touch screens which enable the consumer to engage even more with the advertising, to make the advertising even more relevant to them. And this from Switzerland, where we were able to show, again, in real time, video from this guy who was standing up on a mountainside, encouraging people to take the train and come and visit him. That one at Hang Lion, for very good reasons, which was that it brought new creativity to our medium and created a highly effective, highly engaging campaign. So there are lots of examples from all over the world of what we can do there. The important thing is to make sure that it is relevant, that it is distinctive, and that it is engaging. And here we see what we're trying to do, what we're doing today, what we're launching today here in Madrid, the ability, again, to be part of that transformation of a city, to bring digital to the heart of the city, and to change the way consumers react to our fabulous medium. And all of that is why, over the last few years, outdoor has outperformed all other traditional media. We've outperformed television across the world, we've outperformed radio across the world. You'd probably expect, given what's happened to print medium, that we would outperform print. But what I think is really interesting is that we are the only media. We are the only media that can truly say that our future is brighter than our past. How many media can say that? That our future is going to be even better than our past. And this from a medium that has been around quite literally for centuries. If you look at the forecasts, every forecast predicts that we will grow faster than any other medium with the exception of mobile. And mobile, of course, is a very important part of the outdoor proposition because it's the way outdoor interacts with mobile and the way outdoor can drive traffic to mobile that is going to be an increasingly important part of media landscape over the next 5 years. And we at Clear Channel are investing very heavily in all forms of digital outdoor advertising, in giant digital billboards, in digital street furniture, that we're introducing here in Madrid, in digital malls, like that one I showed in Paris earlier, and in digital in airports and transport systems. digital in every way is part of that change. And just this year, just in 2016, we have launched 200 digital screens in Singapore. We've launched over 400 screens in Sydney and Melbourne in Australia, one of the fastest growing outdoor advertising markets in the world, and we're seeing phenomenal growth as a result of that program. In the UK, over 3,000 screens, and I mentioned the UK earlier. That has totally transformed our business in the United Kingdom. In Central Europe, in Poland, we're introducing more and more digital screens. In France, more digital screens in shopping malls where we have a very strong presence across the country. And in Southern Europe, here in Spain and in Italy, over 1,600 screens in those markets alone. So we believe we can truly claim that we are reinventing media at the heart of cities, that we are scaling proven innovation and leading a digital revolution out of home. We're embracing mobile as an opportunity. As I say, we are working very closely with mobile advertisers, with mobile operators, to ensure that we can develop a value proposition that works across the two media, and experimenting with new partners and products, and looking closely at programmatic buying solutions that make our medium even easier to buy. And so it's for all of those reasons that we are so proud to claim that the oldest medium of them all, we've been around since the cavemen were painting messages on the walls of their caves to show off their skills as hunters or whatever. We've been around for centuries, quite literally. And truly, the oldest medium is now becoming the newest medium of them all. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.